Hi guys, welcome back to the course. In this video, we are going to get to know more about tools, IDE, and datasets that we are going to use in this course. For the programming language, we are going to use Python. Let's click on this link and you will be redirected to this page. This is Python official website. And let's click download. As you guys can see, Python latest version is 3.14.0. If you haven't downloaded Python yet, I really recommend you to download the latest version. However, if you already have Python installed in your computer and you might have the older versions, don't worry, it is still going to work. Python has 4 versions: Windows, Linux, macOS, and Android. Make sure to download whichever version that aligns with your operating system. For example, in my case, I'm using MacBook, so obviously I'm going to download the macOS version. Let's click this and let's click download. Okay, now let's go back to the slide and let's talk about Python libraries that we are going to utilize. The first one is pandas. We are going to use pandas for loading, cleaning, and transforming datasets. This library allows us to handle structured data efficiently. If you are not familiar with pandas, don't worry, I'm going to guide you step by step. And actually, pandas is very easy to use. The second Python library that we are going to use is Gradio. We are going to use Gradio for building interactive user interface that lets user test and interact with our machine learning models directly in the browser. This library helps us to create visually appealing web pages without writing complex front-end code. So you don't need HTML or CSS, guys. The third Python library that we are going to use is Streamlit. We are going to use Streamlit for creating simple and interactive web apps for our machine learning projects. This library enables us to create interactive dashboards that display our data and model prediction results in real time. And Streamlit is actually very similar to Gradio. The fourth Python library that we are going to use is scikit-learn. We are going to use scikit-learn for building, training, and evaluating our machine learning models. This library helps us to apply various algorithms and pre-processing tools to perform classifications, regressions, and also splitting data into training and testing sets. Okay, now let's go back to the slide and let's talk about IDE. For those of you who don't know what IDE is, IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. It is basically a place where you write and compile your code. There are 2 different types of IDE. The first one is local-based IDE and the second one is browser-based IDE. If we are talking about local-based IDE, you will need to download the IDE. You are going to write and compile the code locally, so you don't need to have internet connections. One of many examples of local-based IDE is VS Code. And if we are talking about browser-based IDE, you don't need to download the IDE. You are going to write and compile the code in the browser, so you need to make sure that you have stable internet connections. There are a few examples of browser-based IDE like Google Colab and Jupyter Notebook. Okay, let's click on this link. For your informations, in this course, we are going to use 2 IDE, Google Colab and VS Code. But if you want to use different IDE, it is totally up to you. Google Colab is very similar to other Google products like Google Sheets, Google Slides, or Google Docs. You don't need to create a new account. You can log in using your Gmail account. And Google Colab is a browser-based IDE, so you don't need to download anything. You don't need to install anything. To create a new file, it is very easy. Just click File and click New Notebook. So you are going to write your code here, and if you want to compile your code, just click this. If you don't want to use Google Colab, don't worry, there is another option. You can use Jupyter Notebook. Let's click this. Jupyter Notebook is very similar to Google Colab. It is also a browser-based IDE. Let's click try. And let's scroll down a little bit and let's click Jupyter Notebook. And you will be redirected to this page. And to create a new file, just click File and click New Notebook. Next, you will need to select the kernel. Make sure to select Python, because in this course we're going to use Python programming language. So you are going to write your code here, and if you want to compile your code, just click Run, or you can also click on this icon. If you don't want to use browser-based IDE, you can use VS Code. This is a local-based IDE. Let's click download. As you guys can see, VS Code has 3 versions: Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Make sure to download whichever version that aligns with your operating system. For example, in my case, I'm using MacBook, so obviously I'm going to download the Mac OS version. So let's click this. Okay, now let's go back to the slide and let's talk about the datasets. So we are going to download the datasets from Kaggle. Let's click on this link and you will be redirected to this page. For those of you who are not familiar with Kaggle, it is one of the largest data science learning platform. Kaggle has many free learning resources. Let's click Learn. As you guys can see, there are many free courses available. Look at this. And let's click Datasets. Kaggle has many high-quality datasets that you can download for free. You can filter the dataset by its category, for example, computer science, educations, classifications, computer visions, NLP or natural language processing, data visualizations, and pre-trained model. If you scroll down, there are other categories like benchmark datasets, movies and TV shows, clothing and accessories, economics, and still many more. Okay, now let's pick one dataset as an example. Let's click this IMDb top 250 movies. As you guys can see, the size of this dataset is 14 kilobytes, so it is relatively small. And the usability score is 10. If you want to use datasets from Kaggle, I recommend you to only use dataset that has usability score above 7, because you want to make sure the datasets that you are using is a high quality datasets. Let's scroll down. Okay, here is the dataset overview. It has 7 columns: rank, title, year, rating, durations, IMDb URL, and image URL. If you want to download this dataset, it is very easy. Just click download and you have 2 options. You can download the dataset manually. Just click this, download dataset as zip. You can also import the datasets using Kaggle Hub API. All you need to do is to copy and paste the code and just compile this code and you will automatically import this dataset. Okay guys, I think that's it. That's all you need to know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.